everyone, and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got the battle of the crazily armored infantry units and the defensive structures that love them, as Sebastian, playing as the Teutons in blue, prepares to take on the Viper, playing as the Sicilians in yellow. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their explorables, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Oink oink. Not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we are going to be watching today. Now, the Teutons are a brawler civilization designed to take a beating and still stay standing. All of their barracks and stable units come with free extra melee armor +1 in Castle and then another +1 in Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a big melee armor +4 boost. Their towers have extra space to garrison more units inside and therefore fire more arrows. And by the way, same goes for their town centers. Take a look at this. Garrisoning space on the bottom left, 0 out of 25 compared to the usual 0 out of 15. And they get the murder holes and herbal medicine upgrades free of charge, so they can heal their units super fast inside castles while they're protected against melee units. And by the way, speaking of Teuton castles, those actual structures can be upgraded to get +3 range and fire arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which in Age of Empires 2 is a pretty big deal, since normally only villagers and archer units garrisoned inside a castle will add arrow fire. Now, on the field of battle, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, they can be healed from monks from twice the distance, which is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, a super slow but incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit. And to support a big, growing, hungry Teutonic population, they get a 40% discount on their farms. Let's take a look. All right. Always go down a bit of a rabbit hole with these herdables and huntables and pushables and pullables. Always so much fun for me to watch. Now, speaking of amazing farms, we have to look no further than the Sicilians, a civilization whose strength flows from their static defensive structures. The Sicilians start every game, take a look at the top right of your screen, with 100 extra stone, which is fantastic because they build town centers twice as fast as normal and fortifications 50% faster than normal. Starting in Feudal Age, the Sicilians, speaking of fortifications, can build their unique structure, the Donjon. Think of this as a mini castle that gains HP and armor as the game progresses, and starting in Castle Age does shoot multiple arrows even when ungarrisoned. Now, donjons, like their sister structure, the Bulgarian Krepos, can also be used to train the unique unit of their civilization, in this particular case the Sergeant, a medium infantry unit with great base armor whose HP actually increases in the Castle Age and is one of the only 2 unique units you can train in Feudal. By the way, those very same donjons, those very same sergeants can be used to build and repair the donjons that give them life. Now, unlike the Bulgarian Krepos, the donjon can also be used to train spearman line units who don't forget your deer, and it can be used as a prerequisite building in order to build stables and archery ranges instead of a barracks. Now, if you find yourself in dire need of a lot of army real quick, one of the cool features of the Sicilians is their ability to call a First Crusade, where each and every one of these structures, a town center, spawns 5 sergeants for a maximum of, with a maximum of 5 town centers for a maximum of 25 sergeants just popping up on the field of battle. And to protect that slow-moving, heavily armored unit, the Sergeant, on the field of battle, Sicilian Knights and Cavaliers can also be upgraded to get extra armor. All Sicilian infantry, cavalry, and archer units take 1/3 less bonus damage, and all Sicilian units can be upgraded to become more resistant to conversion. Now, to feed their big, hungry, militaristic population, the Sicilians do have the most bountiful farms in the game. Whenever you research a farm upgrade, it more than doubles the amount of food added to the farm. So if we're lucky enough for this game to go into Imperial, where are you going? If we're lucky enough to see this game go into Imperial with all of the upgrades on the Sicilian farms, fully upgraded, 1,019 food, which is pretty damn ridiculous. So on paper, not too dissimilar, these 2 civilizations. You got the big brother Teutonic Knight, the little brother Sergeant. You got a whole bunch of extra armor on mounted units. You got a whole bunch of extra armor on siege. You got cheaper farms versus more bountiful farms. You got units naturally more resistant to conversion. You got units that can be upgraded to become more resistant to conversion. Let's see how this all plays out. It looks like our Sicilian is going the complete wrong way, while our Teuton, I wouldn't say exactly a beeline for his opponent's base, but has discovered the primary stone. So at least Sebastian knows that he's in the right quadrant or right location, and now he's going to get confirmation of it, seeing those 4 lumberjacks. The Viper has already dispersed his lumberjacks across 2 wood lines. Both players are heading up to Feudal, which gives us a bit of an opportunity to take a look at their maps, their bases, and see where their resources are. Sebastian's primary gold, exposed completely in an open clearing. Primary stone off to the south, which he's already using as part of his wall off to the rear of the base. A little bit of extra stone, a little bit of extra wood, and extra gold to the north, extra gold to the southeast. Forests, not a terrible forest coverage, pretty small forests. The one that he's jacking seems to be fairly narrow, but the entire forward portion of his base completely open. In the forward portion, let's take a look. Aside from the Viper's forward forest, very beautiful autumnal one, by the way, the entire attack path between these two players is completely open, except for, pardon me, I didn't even see this in the first glance. At first glance, a bunch of bamboo stalks blending into the very, I guess, a very autumnal color scheme of the map so far. The Viper, for his part, the forests fantastically located in a nice triangle protective edge. Primary gold nice and secure to the back. Stone maybe on the attack path, maybe not. We'll see, number one, if Sebastian is the one who's aggresses, and number two, if he does, in which direction he aggresses. A little bit of extra gold off campus, which the Viper has seen. Where is his third gold? Right here, up to the north. And secondary stone, also up to the north. The Viper already beginning the wall to the back of his base. Sebastian beginning the wall to the north of his base. On the whole, I would say the Viper's base, primary gold, forest location, much, much better than his opponent. Although his berries are a little bit more exposed. Those pretty lemon bushes with the blue butterflies. Our Teuton one is nice and safe to the back. And Teuton scouts, doesn't matter if we're going to get to see Castle Age. Doesn't matter if we're going to get to see Imperial Age. This is what the Teutons are working with. Notoriously unupgradable. I'm sure there's a better word to say that. Unable to upgrade your scout line units. You are, now, okay. Now I sound like Yoda. If you play the Teutons, no light cav, no hussars, but more annoyingly, forget all that, no husbandry. Makes them very slow on their feet. They're paladins, with that +2 extra melee armor that comes in Imperial. Man, oh man, can those paladins take and give out a beating. But like I said, without husbandry, they are going to take a little bit extra to get to the other side of the map in the Viper. Okay. We saw this yesterday with the game against Hera. He is not shying away from aggression lately, and not shying away not only from aggression, but also from multi-location attacks where he defends on one side, attacks on the other. We saw the game with Hera yesterday. I'm going to say a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. First of all, if you haven't seen it, I even made a community post about it. It was such a ridiculously awesome game. So you've had your opportunity. Skip forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear a bit of a spoiler. But man, oh man, the Viper scouts in the early stages of the game getting those villager kills. And this time as well, the Viper gets the first kill. Last game, although I really am not sure who got the first kill. I don't know if it was the spearman that died or the villager died. Based on my capture age, when I put it on slow motion, because in capture age, if you look at the bottom, you can't actually put it at half speed. It seemed like they died at the exact same time on the other side of the map. We've got a little bit of action as well. Two of the Viper spearmen do take out one scout. So in yesterday's game, not too sure who drew first blood. In this one, a little bit clearer, the Viper getting his first kill, but then on the other side of the map, losing a few spearmen. Not the end of the world, losing a few spearmen to scouts. They do cost a little bit less food, and they cost wood instead of food. And another spearman. Okay, now, now things are starting to spiral a little bit here. If the Viper can't control the perimeter of his base and keep losing units... Ooh, spearmen even on the low ground. Oh, they deal so much bonus damage, +15 against cavalry units. And at this point, the Viper does not have bloodlines. But one spearman is enough to shoo away 4 of these guys because, take a look at their HP, absolutely abysmal. 2 of them are basically dead. One of them is at half health. And one of them is pretty much quite hale. The Viper scouts, for their part, also pretty dead. So both players have done what little tickling they wanted to accomplish. Got the damage they wanted done. It looks like Sebastian has added a villager kill to his 6 total kills to the Viper's 2. So Sebastian taking a pretty decent sized lead here. Forget bloodlines. He is going for scale barding armor at the moment, our Teuton. Interesting that our Teuton is upgrading his scouts. In Castle Age, they're not the worst with the extra melee armor. But again, the extra melee armor is not really going to help against units like a spearman who's primary effect is the bonus damage. Is this open on the left? No, it's not open on the left. And now with the gate closed in the front. And look at how confident the Viper is. No, he shouldn't have deleted. A little bit too confident, a little bit too cocky was our Sicilian there. And these two scouts could have easily been kept outside in the dark. Oh, even a villager takes a poke at one of them. But the Viper, cock of the walk here, thought that he could close off the even more forward position. And unfortunately for him, he could not, which means these scouts are going to be in here. They're going to be annoying. They're going to be running around circles. While Sebastian back at home, what is he going up to? He's got his market. He's got his stable, obviously. He's got his 2 requisite structures, and he is 2 minutes away from Castle Age. Oh, body blocking, body blocking. He gets a second villager kill. Sebastian with a fancy micro here. And by the way, saves both scouts. Well, there's your armor upgrade. But again, the spearman doesn't give a rat's ass about your armor upgrades. Especially not when you've got 14 HP. And I believe on a flat terrain, a flat earth map with no elevation, they do 18 damage on the whole. Minus, of course, whatever armor you have, which in this case is 1. So still managing to one-shot this very weak scout, and the Viper clears it all up. Double, triple archery range. Bloodlines? Cav archers for the Sicilians? Okay. If you're wondering why my voice sounds like I just went back to the age of 11 and experienced puberty for the first time, it's because Sicilian cav archers? They don't even, they're like the Portuguese. They don't even get heavy cav archers. They don't get thumb ring. They don't get Parthian tactics. And they also don't get the last armor upgrade, which is what, the ring armor upgrade? So again, spoiler alert for yesterday's game, we saw the Viper with Hunnic Siege basically telegraph to his opponent that he wants a big Castle Age fight, because if you have no ability to upgrade your Scorpion to heavy or your Mangonel to Onager, and you invest what the Viper invested yesterday in your in Siege, you are very much signaling that you want a Castle Age brawl. And when you are investing in cavalry archers as the Sicilians with absolutely none of the powerful Imperial Age technologies that come with it, I think you're also signaling to your opponent that you want a big Castle Age brawl. Or at the very least with cav archers, let's see what the Viper does. Is he going to use them properly, quote unquote? Is he going to do hit and runs? Is he going to snipe villagers? Is he going to be very, very mobile with these units? Bloodlines now for our Teuton as well. So the scouts are a little bit tankier. Their melee armor is not going to come in very handy. So the Viper says, I laugh at your extra melee armor. My guys fire arrows. So good luck with all that extra armor against my infantry and cavalry. That's not going to come into play at all. Tries to snipe a villager, gets shoot away by a spearman, but the spearman dies. 1, 2, 3 town centers for our Teuton, double TC for our Sicilian, and that's all she wrote for him. He does have 200 stone left. Yeah, he is all in Castle Age. Bowsaw as well. These are all upgrades designed to pivot your entire military industrial complex towards basically cav archers, which are in dire need of some armor upgrades, to be fair. Not that, again, the Teutons without husbandry they stand zero chance in hell of catching up to those cav archers, and I wonder if that is exactly why he's going cav archers. Is this open? No, it is not open. On the other side of the map, our Teuton doing what Teutons do best, which is brawling their way in with melee units. A knight has been added in here. Skirmishers, you gotta go skirmishers, right? And that's what Sebastian is doing. What other option, aside from maybe an immediate siege workshop, which our Teuton does not have the wood for? Now this is not what you want to be doing with cav archers. You do not want to be attacking structures that have 9 pierce armor with your +2 attack, 8 attack cav archer. This is not ideal. But a group of them is peeling off to the north. They are not enough to one-shot a villager to the east. And this is the problem with melee. The inherent weakness of melee is that you're not going to bust into here before your opponent is able to wall that off. But now the Viper is being a little bit more mobile with his units. This house does only have 183 HP. Wonder why he's attacking over here. What the hell are these villagers doing here? Okay, okay. So we saw him channeling his inner Huang yesterday with a very defensive siege workshop. This is nothing but an offensive siege workshop. Imperial, oh my goodness, elite skirmisher. Botkin for our Teuton. Will he be able to hold on? The Teuton skirmisher, also pretty much a Castle Age peaking unit, missing Bracer. But for now, to be fair, the Viper still has 0 villager kills. Is there an alley between these houses? No, there's not. Okay, our Teuton might find some damage here, but he is either not paying attention or not really caring. This looks really nice from the Viper, right? A couple of Cav Archers here, a Cav Archer here. A band of them roaming around the north. But again, it's not really accomplishing much. I guess he's waiting for his Mangonel to come in as he reinforces with those 6 from the front of his base. Oh, and it looks like our Teuton is busted in, but busted in for literally 5 milliseconds as the town centers absolutely gun them down. And now Sebastian has 0 offensive force. He's investing in ballistics. That's pretty nice. The Viper does not have the resources to go even anywhere close to ballistics, but he does have mobility on his side, which means these Cav Archers can run away. Unfortunately for Sebastian, he is not really clumping his skirmishers. Okay, he's got his own siege workshop up and running, and the Viper is pressing into the south, multi-pronging attacks. More villagers. Finally, he's managed to get 3 villager kills. But the majority of his Cav Archers aren't really doing much at the moment. He's adding in melee knights to go after these Mangonels, I'm assuming. Will he be able to get the repairing villagers? He does get 1. So let's see what's going on. Town center to the south is under siege. Barracks continues to get tickled. Sebastian says, hey, you know what? I had the idea before you did to add in some melee cavalry, but the Viper has way too much Cav Archer force here. And those 2 knights are not enough. They barely got any damage done. Those 2 Mangonels are still here. It took a enemy Mangonel to clear it up. Will he lose it? His Viper's gonna lose his, right? No. How did that Mangonel survive? Blast radius, damn you. His knights now having nothing to do since there are no more Teuton. Mangonels are basically just hanging out. Where is Sebastian going to place a castle? 1 castle. You need to secure the gold. The Viper, by the way, pressing. He has seen, has he not? Yeah, he's seen the secondary gold. He's seen the primary gold. He's seen that Sebastian only has this now. If he can keep Sebastian off of this, we'll see how long Sebastian can keep pumping out Mangonels. And without Mangonels, skirmishers? I mean, they're okay. He's adding 2 more archery ranges. They're okay, but they're not going to survive against, your opponent's Mangonels. They'll deal whatever damage they can to the Cav Archers, but they're not going to survive against other Mangos. And investing his stone in a tower. Why a tower? And why so far back? Why not here? Or at the very least somewhere here on the southern side of the gold. Those Cav Archers, by the way, that were hunted by the Tiger still in the north. Sebastian is just patrolling his units. Okay, he's trying to do a little bit of a wraparound here. Now getting the 2nd armor upgrade on his skirmishers. But again, without his own siege, without any kind of melee, his units are going to be very susceptible to this Mangonel. The Viper, by the way, has 540 stone. Sebastian, for all of his extra stone miners, I feel like he's been on stone longer than the Viper. That may or may not be right, but he is dumping his stone into towers while the Viper is going full frontal castle. Sebastian immediately sees it, of course, and has to contest this with towers. Oh no. Another another group of skirmishers fall. Another group of skirmishers fall. And this is where the lack of gold really comes in to hurt Sebastian. Again, his skirmishers are going to trade out obviously better with the Cav Archers being a trash unit versus a gold intensive unit. But okay, maybe I'm the idiot. Skirmisher somehow managing to kill a Mangonel. But he's not contesting the castle. And the castle is up, and the gold is lamed, and the units are dead, and the villagers are gone, and the game is over. Wow. Wow. What an absolute epic play out of our Sicilian, and what an unfortunate reaction from our Teuton. The second he saw cav archers, he should have either figured out to double down on this or double down on this. But more importantly, secure the hell out of this if you're going to go siege. Because he is left with 279. Oh, pardon me. He's left with about 700 gold. Our Teuton. I guess he could mine and sell the stone. I guess he could quote unquote balance his economy. He is hoarding a lot of resources. But why the towers? Why no more siege? Why is the name of this game? But holy moly, the Viper, fresh off of yesterday's game, has absolutely become an aggressive player, and I don't mind. A lot of times the Viper's comments on the Viper's videos are he plays so defensive, he's greedy, he's blah, blah, blah. Not so in this game. Although, to be fair, again, using his cav archers as a bit of a hammer instead of a, I mean, what's the right analogy? What's that weapon that's like a whip, but it has like 5 or 6 heads on it, like a Hydra whip? That's what you need to use cav archers. They need to be everywhere. They need to be attacking these stone miners. They need to be attacking, I mean, these very exposed lumberjacks. And I see that this tower literally just went up now. So these were exposed for a while. This is completely open to the south. The north, maybe you, actually, is this? No, this is not closed in, but this is not open. But maybe you can station some units here. But instead, the Viper choosing to go cav archer ball, added some mangonels. But more importantly, like I said, the defensive structures of this these two civilizations are just absolutely fantastic. Nothing particularly special about a Sicilian castle, except for the fact that they build it 50% faster. But would have loved to see just even one crenellations castle would have been enough to shoo the Viper away from this position if placed properly. And I don't know about the location of this first tower. Let me know what you think. Am I just reading too much into Sebastian's reaction here? I feel like it was a bit sluggish and just not properly tuned to what his opponent was going. I love the skirmisher transition. I love the ballistics addition, which, by the way, the Viper still doesn't have. But then if you're going to go full on skirmishers, how do you plan on defending against mangonels? The knights, I guess, were a good idea if you could mass them. But sending out 2 knights when the Viper had, what, like 15 cav archers here, and the knights were just going around the cav archers to get to the mangonels, that shows you how good that strategy is, especially, again, with the Teutons and the Viper abusing their lack of husbandry. Did the Viper, by the way, have husbandry? Yeah, the Viper did get husbandry. Our Teutons, it's such a built-in feature that they're so tanky, but they're so slow. I should say so slow, but slower than your average, husbandry civilization. But wow. Decent defense. Not perhaps. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of these towers? Are they the right move? Should he have just saved all of this stone plus the 400 he had? He could have plopped down a castle. He could have tried to contest this castle. Instead, he was dodging mangonel shots. Instead, he was dodging cav archer shots. And ultimately, the Viper ends the game with more villager kills, 9-7, total kills 67-45. So perhaps not the most bloody of games, but wow, the Viper with the maneuvers here just to plop down a big juicy castle, deny that gold. And now what the hell do you do as the Teuton? You've got 700 gold left, 1,000 on the whole. I guess you could go up to Imperial, and then what do you do with your 200 gold that's left over? Buy 1 Treb? What the hell can you possibly do? The south is, again, completely open. This tower just went up. So to be fair, the Viper also perhaps could have been a bit more mobile with his cav archers. Instead of 11 kills, 0 of them villagers. That's not a good stat for a unit that peaks in castle. I suspect if Sebastian denied this castle, the Viper would have GG'd. Something tells me about it. Just something about this build order. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Something about this. I'm going to go cav archers, even though I know that they absolutely suck in Imperial because they have no upgrades whatsoever on them. No Imperial Age upgrades whatsoever on them. I feel like if he had denied the castle, the Viper would have GG'd. So it all comes down sometimes to just one structure, properly placed, properly constructed. And to be fair, saying deny a Sicilian castle is a little bit easier said than done because, again, they do build it 50% faster. Skirmishers, scouts, and I'm surprised so few knights. Cav archers, spearmen, and scouts. peak APM 15 minutes in, peak APM 23 minutes. The Viper lately with a Hera level APM. I guess he's really making a comeback from Age of Mythology that he's been streaming a while. Stone count identical, gold a little bit more for our Sicilian, wood a little bit more for our Sicilian, food a little bit more for our Teuton. So on the whole, 0 relics. And so basically, what is that? About 1,700 resources apart, not even 10% apart economically. So not the end of the world economically. Army highs pretty similar. Raisings are 3-0. I'm in absolute shock he managed to get that barracks. But I guess when you attack it for 15 whole minutes, you eventually do tickle away enough HP that it does go down. But wow, the Viper putting on the aggression, even though he was taking a bit of damage back home. Sebastian coming out swinging with those 2 villager kills, and the Viper just absolutely doesn't care, shrugs it off, much like Hera did yesterday. The Viper absolutely comes back with a vengeance. 20 more villagers, army counts identical, but again, when you've got 21 skirmishers, and to be fair, he looks like he did garrison the skirmishers. Oh no, never mind. These are villagers. I saw 21 skirmishers. When I click on them, it takes me to the tower, and then I see the flag on the tower. So I immediately assume, like a dum-dum, that what's inside these towers is skirmishers, but no, it's villagers. And unfortunately, just does not deny the castle. Lots of dead villagers, lots of dead cav archers, but at the end of the day, it is our Sicilian with the pretty much castle age push that takes the W, out mangonels his opponent, establishes his position, and makes sure that our Teuton cannot get the gold for those incredibly powerful, tanky, in-your-face brawler units that they have. And with that, he does end up victorious, but GG in a fun matchup to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.